Good morning, it's Peter Wright and Kathleen Beauvais with another weekly wrap-up of the Yakking Show. And I've got to tell you, this will be our last wrap-up for this year. We will be starting again on the 8th of January.
Wow.
So, let's welcome Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Peter. Thank you. And thank you also very much. And a very Merry Christmas to everyone.
Absolutely, and best wishes for the new year too. May it be peaceful and prosperous for you wherever you are in the world. Okay, Kathleen, do you want to dive straight into your
I
focus
I
health topic
do
for the week?
absolutely, Peter. I want to talk about an issue with many men, and that is prostate cancer, the symptoms and treatments, and what to check for.
Hmm.
And we are going to provide a link to the full article below this video, but here are some highlights from that article. So the prostate gland, as you know, is about the size of a walnut, which sits just below the bladder within the pelvis, and it's surrounded by the urethra, the tube that takes urine out of the body. And prostate cancer is an abnormal and uncontrolled cell growth, often develops slowly, but in others, the cancer can be aggressive and deadly. There is there may not be any symptoms for years, and some people never develop any problems from it. But 1 in 8 men will get prostate cancer, Peter. And it's more common in men over 75, but there have been cases um, of men getting this under the age of 50, but that's rare. Your risk increases if you have a family member that has had it. So, what are the symptoms to check for? The common ones are needing to urinate more frequently, particularly at night, difficulty starting to urinate or a weak flow and taking a long time, or you may find that there's blood in the urine or semen. There's no single diagnostic test for prostate cancer, but doctors make a diagnosis based on various measures, including a PSA blood test, a scan, and a biopsy. What's noteworthy is that the PSA test can be unreliable, and a high PSA doesn't always mean cancer. So, what are the treatments? If the cancer is at an early stage and not causing symptoms or growing quickly, it might be possible to keep it under observation and or a watch and wait kind of mode. And some prostate cancers can be cured with treatments such as surgery and radiotherapy. Hormone therapy may also slow the cancer growth, they say, and it may also be possible to destroy cancer cells using extreme cold, Peter, which is cryotherapy or high
Mm.
intensity focused ultrasound. So that's what I wanted to chat with you about today. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, the idea of doctors using cryotherapy on that body anatomy brings tears to my eyes, quite honestly. I mean, I can just imagine. One question for you. You mentioned that it's more prevalent in people with a familial history of it.
Mhm.
Is there any indication that a maternal history of any form of cancer would increase the risk of a son or a grandson getting prostate cancer? So what I'm getting at is a familial um, susceptibility to a different type of cancer likely to increase the chances of a man getting prostate cancer.
That's
Have
a
you any
good
thoughts on
question,
that?
Peter. The article doesn't mention that specifically, but
Hmm.
you know what? I wonder if, for instance, if the mother has had or a history of ovarian or uterine cancer, if maybe that there's a link there. I don't know. It doesn't mention anything about that, but that would be a good question
Okay,
for a
it
urologist.
would be.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that I used to keep horses and studied horse breeding a lot, and
Hmm.
in genetics, the maternal grandfather effect is significant in horses, and I believe in humans to a degree. So what happens is if if you take a horse, if that horse's maternal grandfather was good, say a very good flat racer,
Mhm.
there's a good chance that that next generation will also be. For some reason, some genetic abilities are passed on better through the female line than the male line, and that gives you the maternal grandfather effect. And I just wondered if there would be any link in cancer. I don't know. I'm speculating, but as you say, it would be interesting to find that out, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I didn't know that about
So,
horses, by the way, so thank you for that.
mm, yeah. So just to sum up then, so
Mhm.
men under 50 are probably fairly safe, right? So
Yeah,
the
they say
time
it's rare,
to
but it
beware
happens.
of it is
Hmm.
over 50, and 1 in 8. That's a high number, isn't it? One in
Yeah,
eight.
yeah,
Yeah,
and more common in
that
men
is a
over
high number.
75.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but yeah,
Um,
one in
but
eight is a lot.
Okay, so guys, something to be careful of and be aware of.
Absolutely.
I know that I have the PSA blood test every couple of years, and there is another test. We won't go into too many details of that because it's fairly uncomfortable, but it's also a good indication. So, guys, get it checked out. Right,
Absolutely. And
Kathleen,
and
you
and
also have a health product to talk about.
absolutely, I wanted to just talk about Dr. Morse's lymphatic drops, Peter, and this is
Hmm.
part of a whole detox system, uh, support system. It's lymph, there's kidney, of course, but the lymph drainage formula supports healthy lymphatic tissues and nodes throughout the body. The lymphatic system, of course, is an integral part of the immune system, making this formula an immune supplement as well. So, this particular one, which is lymph drainage moderate movers, or the formerly number 4, is a strong lymphatic mover. The powerful combination of poke and bloodroot stimulates the flow of all liquids in the body: blood, urine, lymph, bile, and excrement all are stimulated by these herbs, and blockages move like boulders in a flash flood. How about that as a visual? But we will provide a link to this formula in this video, and if you put in Yakking Show in the code, you will get a discount on all Dr. Morse products. So that's it from me, Peter.
Wow.
Back to you.
Well done. Boulders in a flood. Wow, that brings all sorts of vivid pictures to mind, doesn't it? Okay, so thanks for that, Kathleen. And let's tell you what's been happening on the Yakking Show this week. So on Tuesday this week, we published an episode with a gentleman from England, but originally from Africa, Olivier Moncondo, and
Mhm.
he's lost a huge amount of weight, like 77 pounds in a fairly
Yeah,
short space of time,
that's right.
by adopting a plant-based diet and intermittent fasting.
Mhm.
And he tells in the interview, he tells us why it is so important to adopt a healthy diet. As he's gone off meat completely, but he says one of the big secrets is intermittent fasting. So you want to find out more about it, how to lose a lot of weight and live a really healthy life, then you want to watch that episode. He also wrote a more extensive blog post for us, which is on the website, theyakkingshow.com, on the blog. And some of our visitors have already seen it and commented on it, so it's well worth looking at that blog post. Who's coming
Peter,
up next? And we have, sorry,
you practice intermittent fasting, don't you? I do.
I do. I
Yeah.
do. I go normally I normally have supper before 6 in the evening and don't eat again until 7:15 the next day. And then most of the year I fast on Tuesdays. Once a week I go 24 hours without eating anything solid at all. I did in summer when I was doing a lot of physical work, my weight was dropping a bit, so I went back to eating on that day, eating 7 days a week. But now, come winter, I'm not as active. I still walk, but about to start my fasting again, 24 hours every Tuesday.
And I've
That
been
helps me keep my weight stable.
right. I've been fasting. So I usually try to eat my evening meal before 6, certainly not past 6:30, and then my next meal after that will be for noon.
Mm, no breakfast.
No, that's my intermittent fast. I skip
Okay,
through that. So yeah.
right, right. Well done, well
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly helps, and it helps not only keeping you fit and healthy, but it helps mentally to be able to go without food for a while. It's a good form of discipline, I find as well. There's
Well, it
that
gives the
aspect to it.
bowels a break as well, gives you the pancreas a break, and
Sure.
yeah, I feel much better for it, actually. And I know people would disagree, those who are all in favor of a huge breakfast in the morning, but to each his own, I say.
That's right. That's right. No, well done. Good one. So, following Olivier, and I've got to tell you all that we're taking a break until the second week of January.
Mhm.
So, our next weekly wrap up will be on the 8th, and our next guest interview episode will be on the 7th of January, and that will be with Catherine Corona, who's a she has, I think, a doctorate in theology. She's studied all the world's major religions. She's an expert on meditation and mindset and consciousness and being present. Very, very interesting episode coming up. 2 weeks after that will be Jenny Powers, and also a fascinating one. She talks about the origin of being. She talks about how our technical and societal evolution has outpaced our biological evolution, so that although our bodies are still designed for a hunter-gatherer type diet and lifestyle, we don't live like that anymore, and that causes all sorts of problems. And she talks about diseases of modernity and many, many health conditions. She also talks about the nature of work, comparing modern work hours to hunter-gatherer work hours, and it's very, very interesting. So that's a good one. Following her will be Professor Keith Ellis, and he talks about long COVID, and he talks about the symptoms of post-viral complications, not necessarily from COVID. Some people seem to take a very long time to recover from any viral infection. Another very interesting episode,
Mhm.
and just as a teaser, he's developed a product with his team of scientists to help people get over that. And we'll be talking more about that in the future. So that's what's coming up. Comments on any more of those, Kathleen?
Yes, I think for those of you who have suffered from long COVID will be very interested in what Keith Ellis has to say. We were quite surprised and impressed by him. So, yeah, especially his product
Mm,
that you may want to grab your hands
yeah,
on. So, yeah.
that's right. That's very good. We'll have links for those, not maybe not this week, but certainly in our next show.
Mhm.
Let's talk about our featured author of the week. Our featured author is Lauren Callahan from episode 331 with her book, Powerful Not Tired. And that book helps you learn more about harnessing the power of gut health. She is a gut health expert. She's also a Reiki expert, and she has her principles called the Goddess First Principle. And in her book, she tells you, mainly women, how to live your healthiest, most powerful self. But Lauren is also an ultra marathon runner and a triathlete, right? She's done the Ironman several times, and wow, quite an amazing lady. So
Mhm.
that's our featured author. There'll be a link to the book in the description below. And again, just let me finish off by wishing everyone a happy Christmas once again. All the best for the new year, and back to you, Kathleen.
Yes. Well, thank you again for tuning in. Again, Merry Christmas, everyone. We look forward to seeing you in the new year. And if you think you are an expert in something in alternative health, in conventional health, we want to hear from you. And all you need to do is visit us at theyackingshow.com, and all you have to do is click on the contacts tab where you will find a short application form. So until the new year, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.